Welcome, race fans, to Here to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We're here for the final time for Sunday night at the 802 Cup Series as we're about to take on the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the season finale here. We've already crowned a champion in that 24 of Keith Fallen, but tonight there's still many positions still to be figured out and still 100 laps of racing to go here for the 802 Cup Series for this wonderful season. But tonight's going to be awesome to watch. Thank you all for tuning in. My name is Zach Hall. Joined alongside me is Brian Johnson. And as always, we have our producer, Robert Moyer Jr., running all the sights and sounds here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But Brian, back here for a final time here on a Sunday night for Las Vegas Motor Speedway for this season. Keith Fallen, our champion, looks to be right now on top of the board in our qualifying session. But it's going to be an interesting night here with one final race to go with not much on the line.
Yeah, last week or 2 weeks ago rather, last week was off week, but last race Keith Fallen had officially, cinched up that championship. So again, congratulations to him. So tonight is, just going to be a race for the win. Keith does not have to win tonight, but if he's going to be putting qualifying laps, 2/10 quicker than everybody else, he might say, "I'm just going to go out here and win it anyway."
They very well might. That's definitely a hefty margin to see here. 30-59 from the 24 out front. Christopher Norton 83. He's gonna have a 30-74. Johnny Barker's gonna be a 30-76. Kevin Bullock a 30-79, and Jeff Barefoot a 30-81. As the times are close from second to fifth, but that first place time of Keith Fallen looking to be unstoppable at the moment. But about 30 seconds left here in qualifying, Brian. Las Vegas, a definitely interesting racetrack. It's got some character, a lot of bumps, and definitely some interesting things to play out here, I think, once we get this green flag.
Yeah, Las Vegas, we've seen in this next gen car where, on the short run, it tends to be more similar to a super speedway track. Everybody's going to be right on top of each other. It's going to be, can be pretty hard to pass. So a lot of, close knit racing on those short runs. And then as the runs get longer and longer and tire wear starts to take effect, we do tend to see people start getting spread out a little bit. But definitely, Las Vegas puts on some exciting racing, especially late in the race. If we get a late race caution with some green white checkers, that'll be really exciting. And then, of course, tonight, right here, we're going to be under the lights at Las Vegas. So that'll put another little twist into it.
Under the lights, indeed, and that's going to definitely add, like you said, a twist to it that'll make everything a little bit different for these drivers out on track as this track goes through a little bit of a metamorphosis, as they would say. But they're lining up on the grid. We're going to go ahead and pull up our starting grid here tonight and see where our drivers are going to line up. As there it is, Keith Fallen on top of the board there in that pole position. Second's going to go to Christopher Norris. Third's going to go to Johnny Barker. Fourth is going to go to Kevin Bullock. Fifth is going to be Jeff Barefoot. Sixth is going to go to Alonzo King. Seventh's going to be David Lamaga. Fourth's going to go, or eighth's going to go to Jeffrey Taylor. Ninth's going to go to David Medina Sr. 10th's going to be Tyler Dingler. 11th's going to go to Jacob Mazak. 12th's going to be Sam Dyer. 13th, Rob Lowe. And rounding out the field for our 14 cars here tonight at Las Vegas is Gary Shaver. As we got 14 cars ready to do battle for the final race of the season here at the 802 Cup Series. Championships all wrapped up, but there's still one race win on the line, Brian. And I think there's going to be some drivers definitely looking to pull this off. Ooh,
Yeah, you got 14 drivers here tonight, and like we said, there's no championship on the line. That's been settled already. Keith Fallen's been, he already cinched that up, and
folks.
we do have a technical difficulty. I believe we may have some footage that's having some trouble reaching out to you guys, so we're gonna figure that out.
whatsoever. I'm sideways. Sideways everywhere. Come on, man. Do what you can. The vibration in this car is the worst vibration that I've ever had, and the shifter's broken again.
Sorry about that, folks, but we're back here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting as we had some technical difficulties, but we got them all sorted out. We're back here with the live action on the racetrack, and they have 13 laps into the next 100 laps, already clicking laps away here, Brian. And so far, Christopher Norris leading the way with Keith Fallen in second. Alonzo King trying to hold on to that third spot, but it's Kevin Bullock in the 62 here we see trying to push his way forward.
Yeah, Kevin Bullock trying to make his way into the third position, just barely on the inside of that 80 car. And last week, we saw Bullock, he could, make his way up through the pack during the short and mid runs. But on those long runs, he start falling back a little bit. So we'll see how he does here tonight. But as far as those top two, Keith Fallen and Christopher Norris go, Keith Fallen had the pole and Christopher Norris started second. But Christopher Norris very quickly, took that lead from Keith Fallen, and right now Keith Fallen looking like either he's saving his stuff for later in the run or just doesn't have anything for Norris right now.
Yeah, might not have what he needs, but Bullock here, so close on the door of Alonzo King there in the 80, and that action got very, very close there coming off of 4, and right now that 62 still trying to fight on the bottom, and when you fight on that bottom, Brian, it is very tough on those tires.
Oh, it is. You really got to crank that steering wheel a little bit more to the left, and you got to keep it turned a little bit more for longer than you would like to. When you pass on the bottom like that, you can't really let the car wash up on exit like you'd like to save that tire. So passing here, especially at Las Vegas, can be very taxing on your tires and really on your speed as well, because you see the 62 and the 80, they've been battling for a little bit, and now the 23 of Jeffrey Taylor's in the picture.
Yeah, they are. A lot of people coming right into this picture here with our top 5 closing in on one another, and Johnny Barker not too far behind. Also going to have David Lamaga back there in the 7th position. He's actually battling with the 99 Jeff Barefoot for that 7th spot back there. They got Tyler Dingler, Sam Dyer, Jacob Mazak, all those drivers kind of lined up in a group. But this front group here, going to battle here is the 23. Dives to the 80s inside here on the front straightaway. Now a stack up for the lead is it's going to be Keith Fallen going to the inside of Norris, but Norris holds that lane. But here comes Bullock through the middle, 3 wide up front, and it's going to push Norris out the top, and he's going to lose all of those positions from first all the way almost back to 5th in one blink of an eye.
Yeah, that just shows you what just a little bit of a mistake can do. Looked like Norris got either a little bit too loose or started pushing real bad, so he had to get out of the gas, and that puts Bullock straight to the lead. And at the same time, Keith Fallen had gotten a little bit loose, so he wasn't able to battle for the lead like he wanted to. And in a one lap's time, we went from the top 5 guys being on top of each other to them almost basically being single file now.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see this changing up that fast is Bullock. I mean, he shot out again and just out to the lead, and see what he can do. He's had a lot of pace this season, just hasn't been able to extract it on the long runs, I believe. So that's what Bullock's going to be looking to hold on to. But oof, 80 Alonzo King there. You see the big moment of loss there of speed for him. That was due to a real big slide, and now the 23 has down that apron. He's going to slow down and let Norris get by, as this group behind him of Barefoot in the 99. He's got Tyler Dingler directly behind it in the 69 machine, and also the 42 of Sam Dyer right back there, who's right ahead of David Lamaga and David Medina Sr. So some good group of cars right in this group, as we'll see how they can march their way through. Is only right now 3 seconds separating our top 10.
Yeah, and Zach, right now in this part of the run, lap 20, this is when your tire wear starts to show, and I think that's what we saw from the 80 car a couple laps ago coming out of four, and that's going to be kind of the tricky spot. It's coming out of two and coming out of four. That's when the cars are really going to start pushing, and if you haven't taken care of your right front up to this point, that's when it's really going to start to show, and really that's when the field kind of starts shuffling in pace a little bit. So. This part of the run, very, very important when it comes to either gaining or losing positions.
Very valuable time to gain here. As you can see there, positions being made. Barker in the 6 going backwards is Tyler Dingler in the 99, or 69, sorry, going forward as he's our winner from that Dover racetrack earlier this season. He'll be looking to maybe make his way marching up here to have a chance later in this race. But at the moment, Medina Sr. now going to have the run on Tyler Dingler. And Medina Sr., he's had a lot of races where he's had a lot of speed and just hasn't got that finish and that win yet to come. But it may happen here late in the season, or late in the final race of this season. This is his final chance.
Yeah, he's definitely showed speed all season long, and whether it's because of getting caught up in a wreck or the strategy not working out quite like he would want it to, he hadn't been able to be up front and get that win or have the opportunity for it. But definitely had some great pace, and so far tonight, right now he's making moves, making his way up to the front. So if he can, get that strategy right tonight and stay out of trouble, he might have a pretty good shot at it.
About to watch how that all unfolds. 23 laps already into our 100, and you can see here already some great racing happening here early in this event here as the 802 Cup Series looks to close out their season and season finale here at Las Vegas. And what a race we've had so far with these first 23 laps. But right now, Medina Sr., he's been on the attack in that 48 machine. He continues his charge forward as he's trying to make the pass on Barefoot. Gets a little bit tight, but also up ahead of him. You got Norris and Jeffrey Taylor. They've been battling and slowing each other down, crossing each other over, going back and forth in positions, allowing this group here to catch up from behind.
Yeah, I think, Christopher Norris, he took the lead early on and was able to keep it, but I have to wonder if he burnt up way too much tire trying to keep that lead up there and battling those other guys that were coming up to him. And because you see right now where he's just getting hounded by everybody behind him. So, that's a good learning lesson, though. Now you know how far you can push your tires to where, you can find out, okay, well, if I push them this hard, am I still going to be good late in the run, or am I going to be hurting myself later? So, that's a good opportunity to find that out as we have this competition caution thrown out. So now we can re-rack them, put fresh tires on them, and go at it again.
Yeah, competition caution here. First caution of the night. And that's going to bring us to our first pacing laps. And Kevin Bullock going to be the leader of that time at that caution. But yeah, some big moments. And, even a driver actually parked up on the very top of 3 and 4. Very interesting there to see that. And it's Kerry Shaver. What I wonder is if that was possibly not even the competition caution. That might have been an admin thrown yellow for Kerry Shaver. So not sure if that was the call there, but definitely a major moment there for Shaver.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. He's just kind of brushed up against the wall, and now he's stopped, and he's still out there on the track. So have to wonder what's going to happen, as it looks like he is finally off the track, and these guys will be bringing it down pit road here in a little bit.
Yeah, and this track has a lot of character to it, Brian. I mean, it's a tough one. It's kind of describe it to folks. It's a bumpy track.
It is. There's there's certain parts of the track, especially in the corners, where if you hit certain parts where those bumps are, that's really going to upset the car quite a bit, and you're going to have to battle it through the corner and try not to hit the wall. So, yeah, when it comes to the character of Las Vegas, it's, if you can figure out where those bumps are and how to avoid them and keep your speed, and even straddling bumps or using those bumps to your advantage, which can be pretty difficult to do. But yeah, a track with character like Las Vegas, it can be pretty interesting to get around.
That it can be interesting times here as we're on pit road. See who can win the race off here, as it's going to be, I think, our it's Christopher Norris. Very good exit there for him, but I think Keith Fallen, our champion, is going to win the race off pit road. Kevin Bullock in the 62. He's going to be dropping back 2 spots as Norris is going to jump himself back up to second. It's going to be David Medina all fourth, and then I believe Alonzo King all fifth. So interesting exit off of pit road there, Brian, but so far a good start to this race here tonight. And as we're under our first caution here, let's give a shout out to one of our major sponsors here. And as you can see at the top of our board here, flashing on our own iRacing iFlag, it's the yellow flag here, and that's our visual flag system with 64 LEDs that gives us all the information that we need out in there on track. And you can get yourself your own iRacing iFlag there at iRacingIFlag.com. And not only that, you can go check out their digital pit boards that you can pair along with it that make a perfect sim racing marriage for your sim racing usage out there. So thank you again to iRacing iFlag for being an amazing sponsor here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Again, use our promo code FreakyFast2022 as you see on the screen, and you can get yourself a discount at purchases. Under yellow for the first time here tonight, Brian. We got the pace laps going on, but we're getting ready to bring it back. Green Fallen has now got himself back out front. He was that pole setter. He gave the lead up early, but he kind of stayed in second and put pressure on that whole entire first 25 laps. It'll be interesting to see if he can keep hold of this clean air, or can the 83 of Norris jump back out front.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Norris does decide to try to battle for that lead and take it back after, realizing what that may have done to his tires later in the long runs. But the thing about it is that Keith Fallen, he knows what pace he wants to run, and that tends to be a little bit quicker than everybody else. But he's not going to go out there and just use and abuse his tires to keep the lead. He'll settle for second or third if he has to. But if you allow Keith Fallen to run his pace in the lead, that's going to make that 24 car pretty dangerous. So I think if you're any of these guys in the top 5 around him, you got to do whatever you can to take that clean air away from him.
It'll be interesting to see, can anybody do that here. I think they got a little bit antsy. They got double fouled up 1 lap early, as we should be getting that 1 to go flag here when we come back across this line. And as a night race, it's always interesting with the weather here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It does have a pretty pronounced effect on that racetrack. And coming in here tonight, we got about an 89-degree ambient temperature, so pretty hot out there when it comes to ambient temperature from air temp. But that track temp kind of cool on the cooler side. It's only 91, so 2 degrees hotter than the ambient. Not too much higher there, Brian.
No, and that's what you see at nighttime. All that track temperature that you're used to seeing, about 110, 120, sometimes even 130. All that comes from the sunlight. That track absorbs the sunlight, makes it hot. On the top layer of that track surface, and then on the layers underneath too. And that's one cool thing about iRacing is that it does simulate those the heat of the multiple layers of the track. But at nighttime, the sun's not out, so all that track heat is there from the air temperature, and then whatever heat is still left over on those layers underneath the top surface from the sunlight earlier in the day. So it's pretty realistic, though. I think 89 degrees nighttime in Las Vegas in September is pretty realistic.
That it is, man. I tell you what, out west, it's a scorcher for sure. As they're going to see how they can get it done here, as the pace car is going to pull itself in, and we're going to get ourselves going back green here. As Kevin Fallen, or Keith Fallen, going to lead us to the restart zone. He's off and away with that green flag, and great restart from him. But it's going to be early Kevin Bullock jumping to the inside of Christopher Norris, as Keith Fallen trying to get that first bit of clean air all night.
Yeah, Bullock had a great start that lap. Able to pull up right beside Christopher Norris going into 1 and 2, but Christopher Norris fighting hard on the outside. He may be able to clear here as they enter into 3, and they do. So Christopher Norris going to set his sights on that 24 car in the lead yet again.
Yeah, and that was the one point I like that you brought up, Brian. Will Christopher Norris, change his strategy up? We saw him go out there, lead laps, and really pressure and run really fast laps at the beginning of the run. Will he save a little bit this run? I mean, as a driver, Brian, how much do you change it up from run to run? What are the keys to adapting during the race?
Well, it really depends on what you think is going to be the bigger advantage. Some tracks having clean air is a bigger advantage than having better tires. So you're willing to still give up that tire wear to try to get that clean air. But the catch is that if you aren't able to clear the leader and get that clean air and you've already used up your tires, then you're going to be losing a ton of position. So if you use all of your tires and have that excessive tire wear to try to get the lead, you better hope you get it, because it's going to cost you a lot later. But here at a track like Las Vegas, these guys may think that having better tires is going to be worth more than clean air, so they may be willing to change up their strategy, how they drive this car as the race goes on, in order to try to get that goal achieved.
Right now, some great racing going on from second on back as Fallon has really driven himself to a giant lead. It's Norris fighting hard with Kevin Bullock off the exit of turn number 2. Sorry, actually, it's Alonzo King in the 80, and he's diving to the inside of that 83 and taking that position. So great maneuver from the 80 as he moves forward, and it's going to set that 83 back to third position, but Alonzo King, up to that second position, dropping Kevin Bullock back to fourth.
And right now, when you go back to whether you save tires or not, it's hard to tell if Keith Fallon has just put the afterburners on or if everybody else has decided that they're going to take it easy, because, Keith Fallon, 1.3 seconds ahead of everybody else right now. I mean, he's just taken off. He's on another level right now. So it is hard to tell whether he's, really pushing it hard or if these guys are saving.
It's going to be interesting to see who could save what and make something happen. Because Fallon, how big a gap he's opened up. But right now, Tyler Dingler here in this 69 machine, all over the back deck lid of that 6 of Johnny Barker, and he's looking to make himself go forward. He was a winner from Dover, and tire wear is a huge factor at Dover. I mean, longer runs could play into that 19 or that 69's factor here.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys here that if we go green to the end here, it can really play into their hands. We've seen Tyler Dingler do it before. He actually won a race off of fuel mileage, able to save more fuel than everybody else, turned a 2-stop race to a 1-stop race, or a 1-stop race to a no-stop race. Can't really remember exactly how that went, but he did do one pit stop less than everybody else, able to win that race. We've seen where Rob Lowell is really good on the extended longer runs, and same thing with Keith Fallon, as I hear some tires squealing and a caution's out.
That it is. Caution is out on the racetrack, and I believe that's the 42 of Sam Dyer going around. And man, oh man, I think it might have been from a little bit of contact, but we'll have to maybe see how it all shook out here as the instant replay here gonna bring it up. And look here as we're going down to 3 and 4 to 42 there, looking to cover off that 21 there, I believe, a Rob Lowell. And as he comes down across the racetrack, they make contact. The 21 having that nose there, going to send the 42, and then the 23 of Taylor coming in a little bit later, going to give the 42 another bump, and from there he kind of goes for a ride.
Yeah, it looked like Sam did not expect Rob Lowell to be there by the time he came down to the bottom lane, but Rob Lowell, having so much momentum, was able to get to his inside, and that's one of those deals where it's car inside can't come down, but made that little bit of contact and did pretty good to keep it out of the wall for the most part.
It's always tricky when those situations you got a guy kind of from the position behind diving in to there trying to look to the inside while the driver up ahead is looking to cover all that position and almost do the wider arc. So as a driver, it's always tough to judge if the driver behind is going to do that move. And right there, maybe Sam Dyer just getting not judging it that 21 was going to make that move. He looked to go all the way to the bottom, and by the time he got there, the 21 had his nose in there.
Yeah, that's just an experience thing. That's a learned thing. The more you drive, the more you race, the easier it is to make those judgment calls as to whether that you think that guy's going to get there or not. And you got to remember, this is only Sam's, I think it's like his 7th, 8th, 9th race since he's gotten back into driving. So, definitely can't fault him for that. That's just one of those growing pain situations.
It's definitely growing pains of learning the sim and just learning racing overall, and the timing. Timing is a lot of things in racing, and you make that split-second decision. It could be between a wreck and a near collision. So very good to learn those types of things. But already 38 laps into this 100 lap event here tonight for the season finale for the 802 Cup Series. Our champion is out front, Keith Fall, and that was decided 2 weeks ago, our last race there. And right now looking to go on a get a win here and go out in style, Brian.
Oh yeah, that's definitely what he wants to do. He doesn't want to take it easy, even though he already has that championship win. He wants to go out here and still win it, as if he hasn't gotten it locked up. He wants to make it seem like you have to win this race to win the championship. So that's good to see, and not that he's just running around laps, or that he even showed up. He didn't have to race this race. He could have just kept it in the garage and said, "No, I've already got my championship. Don't have to worry about it." It looks like Christopher Norris having some problems again. Gonna have to put it down to the inside of the track. I know he's on VR, so sometimes he's got some problems with that. But going back to Keith Fallen, it's good to see that he's out here and still trying his best.
Yeah, definitely still trying to go out there and get the win, no matter if the championship is already all sewn up. But yeah, like you said, Christopher Norris there in the 83, he is still stuck at the bottom of 1 and 2 on against the inside wall. So must have had some type of technical issue. And like you said, he does race with VR. So we've seen issues with people have that before. I believe he's had them himself before. So tough break for that young driver, but we're gonna get it all figured out here as it's gonna be looking to get possibly double foul here before we take this green flag to get back going. And man, what a interesting race we've had so far. I think if we get a full length run, which is a 60% fuel load, these drivers most likely can go almost 40 laps, I believe, on that. So we're not within making it distance, but we're gonna be close to that here within the next 20 laps.
Yeah, I think on a full tank in these cars, you get right around, about the mid 50s, upper 50s, maybe almost 60 laps on a full tank. So at 60%, this is definitely going to be a one-stop race, I believe. So, I guess as a driver, you're going to have to split it halfway down the middle. That's going to be the safe bet. So if we're on lap 40 right here, you're going to figure that they're probably going to stop around lap 70. So, we'll have to keep that in mind as we start ticking these laps down.
Lap's gonna be ticking away here as it's all live on Freaky Fast broadcasting the season finale here at the 802 Cup Series, and can confirm Christopher Norris dropped due to packet loss. So that 83 out of this race, and a tough break for our second place qualifier, but we still got plenty of drivers out in the field ready to do battle here as the pace car is going to be coming down here, looking to get to pit road, and Keith Fallen going to have control of the field alongside Alonzo King. He'll have Tyler Dingler and David Medina Sr. in the row behind him. Pace car is in, and we are green here at Las Vegas.
Green flag, green flag.
Yeah, great restart by Keith Fallen right there. Made it really early. Didn't give these guys a lot of time to think about when he was going. He just went. And good restart by Tyler Dingler as well. It wasn't long ago he was sitting in about 7th, 8th, 9th position, but here he is battling for second, and as he gets real loose on the inside.
Man, oh man, crazy racing going on back here. It's side-by-side action all throughout this field. And right here, some great scenes as Keith Fallen holding on to that gap, but the drivers in the back are looking to sort it all out here as they come off of 4. All the drivers looking to find any bit of speed.
Yeah, this again, this is the part of the run where these guys are going to be driving kind of on top of each other. This is where a lot of your opportunities are going to be made, and you got to make the most of it. And right now, up at the front, you got Alonzo King all over the back bumper of Keith Fallen trying to get the lead as he's looking on the outside now.
Man, oh man, this is some great racing here going on. Brian is right now, these drivers all looking for speed as Dingler's made his way up to 3rd, but right now, King is the driver looking to make himself out front. The 80 Alonzo looking to the outside here of our champion, the 24 Keith Fallen, coming off of turn 2. It's side-by-side action.
And you can see just how hard Keith Fallen is driving that car all through the turns 1 and 2. The rear end of that car just stepping out. He's really driving the wheels off of that thing right now, but it's going to be tough to beat that outside line if Alonso can keep it straight. He had a little wiggle right there in turn 4, and that allowed Keith Fallen to come back and attempt to side draft him as they head off into 1.
Great racing here from these two up front, leading the field here, 44 laps into the 100. And right now, this action definitely getting a little bit more exciting as that 80 takes the lead down the back straightaway. Keith Falling will have to slot in the second. Behind this, the 21 of Rob Lowell charging his way up. Tyler Dingler in the 69. And also the 23 Jeffrey Taylor all battle.
Yeah, I got multiple battles going on right now, and we're about halfway through this race, so this is when it starts picking up. It's like I always say, there's a ratio of give and take, and as the race goes on, there's more take and less give. So that's what we're seeing right now. These guys really starting to push, take these positions early, but if we do get a long green flag run here and go to green flag pit stops, we'll have to see if, like a 23 Jeffrey Taylor, he's pushing pretty hard right now, as well as Rob Lowell and, Alonzo King. Got to wonder how much tire did he have to use to get that lead.
That's always the question. And, maybe they're pushing this hard, trying to get to that number they want to get to make that green flag stop. I'm questioning because, we're seeing some guys that normally save a lot of tires push very, very hard here. So this is going to be very interesting to see how their strategies all play out here. But at the moment, Alonzo King leads Keith Fallen, Rob Lowell in that third spot. As right now, Fallen still looking for any way to get by King back out front.
Yeah, that's the thing is that, Alonzo King pushed really hard to get that lead, and, you'd almost expect him to try to pull away a little bit, but not in these next-gen cars at Las Vegas. Keith Fallen doing a great job of sticking right with the leader. And even though he has lost that lead, he's not losing time to the leader. So, that's always good to know and see if, you're the second, third, fourth place guys, is that, the leader's not driving away just yet.
Yeah, it's always good to see that for sure. And the battle picking up is around David Medina Sr. in that 48 machine. He's got Kevin Bullock, his teammate, in the 62. They're all battling back here around 5th and 6th. You got also Tyler Dingler, Johnny Barker, David Lamaga, Jacob Mazak. All these drivers all stacked up on top of one another.
And Bullock did just make his way through there, able to clear the 48 of Medina, but still behind Medina right now, you got the 69 of Tyler Dingler and the 6 of Johnny Barker side by side. Then behind them, you got Lamaga and Mazak side by side. So all sorts of drivers stacked up right here, as it looks like Dingler going to be looking into the inside of Medina going into turn 1.
Yeah, Dingler's looking to get that position back. He just lost it to Medina about a lap or two ago, but it takes it back there off of turn 2 and solidifies that position down this back straightaway with Barker there in the 6th machine. You got Lamaga in the 34 and also Mazak, also barefoot coming into that picture as the top 11, all right here on top of one another, battling for these spots and side by side here as they get on the front straightaway.
And I think, part of maybe what you're seeing right now is the 48 might be sliding back just a little bit, but that's the old tire saving strategy that he's doing right now. He doesn't want to push those things too hard. He's expecting, to get a full run right here. So he's going to be taking care of those things. And, he's willing to give up a 10th or 2 a lap and, the occasional position to some of these guys in order to save those tires and, make up that time and those positions back later. So, that's the crazy thing about, these next-gen cars, especially here at Las Vegas, where tire management is such a huge part of the race and such a big part of, as a driver, what your strategy is and how you're going about driving the race car. So, tire management is extremely important in these cars and especially at this racetrack.
It is definitely for sure a huge thing. And seems like Tyler Dingler going away back forward is Jeffrey Taylor. Oh no, there's Medina Sr. And guess what? That's a broken right front toe on their car. Oh, he's going back across the racetrack. Luckily, Sam Dyer makes it by. And Medina Sr. going to be very slow on the inside here. And that 48 going to be coming to pretty much a halt, if not trying to very quickly get this thing back to the pit road, but not too fast, as that car is not going to want to turn. They do have 2 fast repairs, but a tough break for one of our fast cars.
Yeah, I think he had the 23 Jeffrey Taylor. He was looking pretty slow before they got to him, so I have to wonder if he had maybe tapped the wall a couple corners before that happened. But they were coming out of four, and he smacked the wall, bounced off of it right in front of David Medina, and David Medina just had nowhere to go, and he smacked the outside wall really hard, broke that toe link, and now he's going to have to take a tow to pit road. So that's going to be at least probably about a 2-minute hold before you can get that car fixed, and he's going to be going multiple laps down here.
That they possibly will. And right now, the battle up front is heating up because look at this. Keith falling, stuck in the sucker hole, going backwards here. It's Tyler Dingler going to go around the outside, too. Now, Lowell hitting the wall up ahead of him, now falling, dropping back like a rock as Bullock goes around him. And Dingler and Lowell is now Lowell looks to the inside of Alonzo King, and he's going to look to try to make a move here on the front spot. But we'll see, does that work for the 21? Or is it not enough? Here comes the 69 also. He's looking pretty quick.
Yeah, earlier, as soon as that 80 of Alonzo King had passed Keith Fallon, I said Keith's doing a great job of sticking with the leader, not letting him have a gap and build a lead on him. But the problem, again, with these next-gen cars at this track in particular, as you see Bullock, again, just a massive run coming out of turn two. He's done that earlier tonight where he's just had these monstrous runs and able to take the lead. But going back to Keith Fallon, when you're running second right behind the leader, sometimes you can burn off a little bit more tire than you expect. And maybe that's what we're seeing here and why everybody's able to get around him. Maybe Keith Fallon just abused that right front just a little bit as the battle for the lead is still really heated up here as Bullock, he made that move but has not pulled away. 80 car of Alonzo King still right on his bumper looking to get it back.
That he is here looking to try to get everything for it, and it was a 3-wide pass to make it happen, and King looks to the inside, almost makes contact with Bullock up front. Now Lowell trying to close back in. You also got Barefoot in the 99 coming into the picture. This race is starting to get a little bit spicier, folks, with 57 laps of the 100. Right now, our top six all separated by 0.6 of a second.
Yeah, and this is the kind of racing that you'll get at Las Vegas. Early in the run, they tend to be on top of each other, but late in the run too, when everybody's tires are different, all their paces are different, and everybody's trying to get sorted out position wise. They're going to be right on top of each other because the guys behind are going to be a little bit quicker than the guys in front, but it's going to be pretty tough to pass. So, you really got to set up that pass and figure out how to get around the guy, maybe 3-4 corners before you actually go to perform that pass. So, that's going to result in what we're seeing here is everybody on top of each other, and what better place to do it than for the lead.
And it is a battle for the lead, and King back out front as Bullock's going to slide back to second. Now Lowell going to be charging up here in that third spot. Also Barefoot still there, is Fallen and Dingler battle behind, but still amazing raging on battle here, and we're getting close to that window possibly to open up for pit stops. I wonder when somebody will elect to do that.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine if you're going to be one of those early pitters, you're probably seeing it about 5 or 6 laps, and you could probably describe this a little bit better than I could, Zach, because when it comes to pitting early or pitting late at these 1.5 miles, it's kind of confusing to me as to which one would be better.
That it can be, and it's all about timing. That's the one thing we always, I think, go over freaking fast is, you could time it 5 laps early and be completely wrong. You could time it 5 laps late and be completely wrong. You got to have that happy medium of where you need to pit, and that's what these drivers are going to have to figure out. I personally feel like maybe lap 70 with 30 to go will be that point, but we'll see. Right now, 40 to go, they should be possibly in the window to make it on fuel. If anybody gets aggressive, we should see pit stops here happening in the near few moments.
And now you're kind of starting to see these front guys get shuffled up again. Bullock, he made that power move to the front, but I think maybe that was a little bit too much power put down onto those tires, because now he's starting to fall back into the clutches of Fallen and Jeff Barefoot as they battle side by side. Fallen looking up a little bit more ground here as he kind of got swamped by all these guys that came after him a few laps ago, but collected it up, starting to get those positions back, and about as quickly as we got stacked up on top of each other, we're spread out again.
That we are, Brian. Just like that, all spread back out as drivers are figuring out what the solution is for their car, and we're going to try to figure out what these drivers are going to be doing as we're going to go to our final commercial break of the night here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. It's been a great race so far here for the season finale for the 802 Cup Series. And I tell you what, it's going to be a banger of a finish here with these drivers figuring out who is going to be on top of that podium and figure it all out when it comes down to the 100 laps. Thank you all for tuning in here tonight. It's the 802 Cup Series, as we're here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We'll be right back.
He's following, they're wrecking, they're splitting, and it's a complete mayhem.
We have a wreck at the front. 19 goes down into the 7, takes out the 00.
They're 5 wide behind for fifth. Oh my, the 5 wide here, this ain't gonna work, is it? They're already wrecking into turn 1, and now coming through that of turn 2. This is it, the Daytona. Oh no, they're wrecking contact. Sets gets into the wall, gonna be scattering on the outside. Drivers on the apron, drivers coming out of nowhere. Edison on the outside, trying to get the win, and it's William Edison stealing it at the line.
Into the wall. The 18 trying to block. 77 get into the 18. That leaves 3 of TJ Roberts. 17 to Gavin Rogers. 3 of TJ Roberts is gonna steal the win here.
Went second fiddle so many times last season. Christopher Wade wins the season 5 Daytona 200. Drivers, start your engines!
4, 3, 2, 1, green screen. No right grip whatsoever, up sideways. Sideways everywhere. Come on, man, do what you can. The vibration in this car is the worst vibration that I've ever had, and the shifter's broken again.
And just like that, we're back, folks. There is, man, what a crazy circumstance of events. Keith Fallen spins after hitting pit road, our champion this season, and man, that has really brought a interesting turn to this race here, Brian.
Yeah, he came down pit road, got his fresh tires, went back out there, and I think he forgot he was on cold tires because he's coming out of 4, got pretty loose, hit the wall, brought the caution out, and brought the caution out in the middle of green flag pit stop. So the whole field shuffled up. Some people lapped down, some people 2 laps down, and unfortunately for Keith, that's going to put him 2 laps down. So right now he is out of it, even though he did look like to be kind of the sure pick for the race. But right now Kevin Bullock up front, about a 7/10 of a second lead in front of Johnny Barker, and Jeffrey Taylor up in 3rd, not too far behind him. So the race really got shuffled up with that caution right there.
That it did, and also another driver really affected by it was Alonzo King. He's a lap down. He was up there battling for the lead, so he was, that happened while the pit stop sequence was happening. He had hit pit road and just did not go well for that car. As right now you can see Fallen back there in the 24. He's trying to make his way up and get a lap back the old-fashioned way possibly, but it's going to be a lot of work, as right now it's Johnny Barker in the 6 right there all by himself in 2nd. Is up front it's Kevin Bullock, but he's actually got the 80 of I believe Alonzo King, yes, right behind him, who's looking to unlap himself. But right now that's not a battle for the lead, but just a battle to unlap.
Yeah, and Keith Fallen right now is really rooting for Alonso, because if Alonso can manage to get in front of the 62 right here and unlap himself the hard way, that would allow Keith to be the lucky dog if another caution were to come out. So the 24 right now really hoping the 80 gets around the 62, which right now he's right on his inside, so it's looking like that might happen.
And it may be, as the 80 does unlap himself up front, and Barker's going to like that because he's going to see now there's no cars in between him and the leader of Kevin Bullock. He'll be able to try to get himself up there. But right now, looking at his 34 De La Maga, he's made his way up here. He's up to the 3rd position as he's got past Jeffrey Taylor. Is barefoot now. The 99 is going to be looking to maybe make something happen for him.
Yeah, and talking about David LaMaga, he's very similar with David Medina, where he's had a lot of pace this season, and just has had some unfortunate setup circumstances in a lot of races where either strategy didn't work out or got taken out in a wreck and had his chances at a win ruined. If I remember right, I think David LaMaga has won a race. I could be wrong on that though, but that's just another guy that's shown some very consistent speed, some top 5 speed, and it's good to see that he brought it here tonight.
Has definitely brought that speed for sure. Is behind him, the balance still ensues as Jeff Barefoot made the pass on Jeffrey Taylor for 4th. And Taylor's gonna be looking to hold position as he's got a sizable gap back to Lowell and Dingler and Sam Dyer. So a good little gap here back to this group as you're seeing the 69 Tyler Dingler close in on this 21 of Lowell, and this is for the 6th spot.
Yeah, and these are 2 guys that we talked about earlier. They have some really, really good long run pace, and with where we are in the run right now, I'm sure that'll show up here in just a little bit. So racing each other, you can't get that one position, but you've got those guys up ahead of you that you got to catch too. So I'm sure both of these guys would rather run single file, trying to run these guys down. But nonetheless, they are bumper to bumper with Sam Dyer just behind them, and Sam, he's got the 31 of Jacob Mazak behind him, and talking about the track, Las Vegas, talked about the bumps earlier, but got to talk about the lines too. A lot of drivers electing to take advantage of different lines here. You see them running the bottom, the middle, some of the top, so that's pretty good to see as well.
Always good to see the multi-groove racing here when we have that action on iRacing, so love to see that here on iRacing.com. And man, these last 20 laps now as we're up to 18 to go here in the O2 Cup Series for the season finale here at Las Vegas. Just got to say thank you to everybody here, all the drivers in the league, all the admins here. They've done a great job all season, and it's been very, very fun here to call all the action here on Sunday nights at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And man, I tell you, some great admin work out there. And if you're out there looking to maybe help out your admin work, you need to head yourself over to adminbox.com, folks. That's right. You need to go check out the best button box out there, as it'll help you get race control straight at your fingertips with no hassle. That's right, pre-programmed commands with no key bindings necessary for race control, driver functionalities, and pit options, with the LED backlighting with the button box to make each button highly visible in any situation. So make sure you head on over, like I said, to adminbox.com, and that's adminbox with 2 X's there, and use our discount code FFB/BOXX for that discount at purchase, and you'll be able to get yourself race control at your fingertips. And while you're at it, while you're out there getting your admin box, why don't you head yourself on over to Advanced Sim Racing, one of the greatest North American racing simulator chassis manufacturers out there, and digital motorsports equipment retailer in North America. So make sure you head on over to advancedsimracing.com. Use that discount code FreakyFast5 to get 5% off, and that'll let them know that we sent you there for your purchase. So thank you again to all our amazing sponsors here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But it's 15 to go here at the 802 Cup Series. Bullock out front leading.
Yeah, and I was looking at the lap times, and Bullock's still fairly a good bit quicker than everybody else here. He's running about a tenth or two quicker than everybody behind him. So at this point in the run, towards the end of the race, he's doing exactly what you would love to do, which is extend that lead as we get closer to the checkered flag. As David Lamaga gets to the outside wall coming out of 4, almost spins out, but is able to save it, as looks like we still got some contact between the 99 of Jeff Barefoot and the 6 of Johnny Barker. So some pretty hard racing going on right now.
That there is great racing for sure. As second place is heating up. Barefoot almost up into Barker now, as that's fallen behind him, who is 2 laps down, and he's kind of stuck behind this group. But Lamaga trying to rebound himself after that contact with the wall. But side-by-side action, here's Barker into the wall. That's going to slow him up and allow him to get passed by Barefoot, as Barefoot's up to second, and now Lamaga looking for third.
Yeah, and that whole skirmish right there, that extended Kevin Bullock's lead even more. I mean, that was almost a whole second that these guys lost to the leader that time by. So, definitely if you're Kevin Bullock, you're you can't really look at your mirror and watch this because you're so far ahead. But if he's getting told that this is going on, he's like, yeah, just keep that up, guys. It looks good to me.
It does, man. But 12 here to go. Like you said, Bullock's loving what he's seeing here, but it's definitely getting spicy. As Barefoot, he's blowing up now with Lamaga coming here to try to take second. You also got Barker there in the 6, but Lowell's also closing in the 21. This whole top 5 all closing up here. Is second to 5th is within a half a second of each other.
Yeah, these guys, we saw it earlier in a earlier run in the race where it's about that mid run, about 20 to 30 laps in, where these guys really start getting right on top of each other and racing really hard. So I think that's what we're seeing right here. And you can see just behind Jeff Barefoot and Lamaga right here, Rob Lowell coming up very quickly. He's looking to make a move on Johnny Barker here, and we'll see how quickly he can get around these guys, see if he can make his way up to second.
See if he can make that move. And right now, stuck racing the 6 machine, Rob Lowell in this 21 is just trying to make that move for 4th. This is allowing Barefoot and Lamaga trying to get some breathing room here with 10 to go, but Barker doing everything in his power to hold him off, but he's just going to get cleared by that 21. Lowell as they head down the back straightaway. Lowell is going to set his sights on the drivers up ahead of him to see what he can do here on this longer run.
Yeah, and just watching Lowell, what he's doing on entry is, he tags the wall coming out of 4. He's going to go into the grass, but let's see if he can save it. Looks like he will, but crazy ride for Rob Lowell on lap 92 of this race as hits the wall coming out of 4, goes on a little bit of an off-road adventure, but he's able to keep it off the wall and straight, but he has lost a bunch of ground to those guys ahead of him, so everything that he did in the past 10-15 laps is now gone, so he's going to have to catch these guys again.
Yeah, going to have a lot of work to do, and coming 8 to go here, Kevin Bullock, about a 4-second lead. He's loving what he sees. The only thing he wants to see is a white flag and then a checker flag for that 62 machine. He doesn't want to see anything to do with a yellow, but with 8 laps to go here, it's definitely in his clutches, but I tell you what, at any moment it could all slip away as Lamaga and Barker still battle. That's actually letting Lowell catch back up. Tyler Dingler, he's kind of coming into the picture also in the 69. He's in 6th, so really there's going to be a battle for this podium here.
Yeah, Dingler, if these guys aren't careful, Dingler's going to be in that mix here in a few laps as he is very quickly closing the gap on these guys. And now Rob Lowell in the mix. He's on the outside of Lamaga right now, trying to get around Johnny Barker again, using that outside lane. Just talked about the multiple groove racing that we've seen here tonight, and here it works in Rob Lowell's favor as he uses the outside to get underneath the 6 car as they make a little bit of contact going into 3, and Rob Lowell having to get out of the gas to make sure they don't touch doors again coming out of 4.
Yeah, that's what that outside line helps to have, is that ability to hold someone down, and the 21 could not get that maneuver to stick. He looks to the inside possibly again as Dingler back here looking to the inside. Lamaga, it's definitely very hold on these cars as Lamaga bounces off the wall. He bounces into Dingler. Dingler holds on to that machine, but they race side by side down the back straightaway as this side by side up ahead of them, also heading off into 3 and 4 with 6 laps to go. Coming to 5 here now to go. Dingler makes the pass on Lamaga, but here comes Lowell to make the pass on Barker. It's going to be a battle here. It's now Lowell up to 3rd. Dingler looking for 4th.
Yeah, Dingler now on the inside of Johnny Barker. Going to try to make that inside lane work. Looks like he's got some pretty good momentum coming out of the middle, but is Johnny Barker going to have a run on the top? He is not. Tyler Dingler going to block that off, but the 6 of Johnny Barker going to do a little crossover, a little switchback, go to the inside of Dingler. Now let's see if Dingler can have a good run on the outside. Looks like he will. Looks like he's good so far. And it looks like that's going to be settled. So now Dingler can set his sights on Rob Lowell to try to get that 3rd position here in the next 4 laps.
And he's got 4 laps to do it. Don't know if that's going to be too likely with how big a gap Lowell has already pulled, almost about a half a second up the road, almost a full second at sometimes. Is now it's just going to be down to can Lowell keep the car in one piece. But coming to 3 to go here, Kevin Bullock 5 seconds out, hasn't got a win yet this season, and it's going to be looking for that first one here in the season finale.
Yeah, and he's looking pretty good right now. He's still one of the fastest cars on track. Is Kevin Bullock. He's ran a 32.46 last time by, and Keith Falling. He's not on the lead lap, but his pace is pretty good, running a 32.52, and Jeff Burfoot a 32.65. So Kevin Bullock, as long as he doesn't make any major mistake with that 5.2 second lead, is barring a caution, he's looking pretty good right now.
Definitely looking in smooth sailing right now. Penultimate lap has begun. 2 laps to go here at Las Vegas. 3 more miles here for the 62 of Kevin Bullock to be in victory lane for the season finale here at the 802 Cup Series. And what a drive it's been. Hasn't been in doubt since that last caution. It all changed during the pit sequence. Kevin Bullock here, though, looking to perform well as it's coming out of 3 and 4 for the penultimate time here tonight. He's going to look up to Barney the Flagman and see the white flag. It's 1 lap to go here for Las Vegas and 1 lap to go for the season here at the 802 Cup Series here at Freaky Fast Broadcast. And that's your Freaky Fast white flag. And we're off into 1 and 2.
Yep, coming out of 2 now. Kevin Bullock going down the front straightaway, and still no issues from him so far. He's got 1 more corner to make and stay out of the wall. And he's going to be coming home to that checkered flag and take the win in this last race.
Daddy Will Bullock going to win the race, get the checkered flag, and behind him, Rob Lowell is going to take 2nd in the final corner as Jeff Barefoot is going to take home 3rd. As what a finish to the season finale here at Las Vegas. And what a great ending here for Kevin Bullock, who really put on a masterclass there in that final run. 5.9 seconds out to the lead, and really enjoyed that one, folks. But he's going to bring it around here. He's going to get to celebrate this win here, Brian, get to burn it down, and then we're going to get to hear from these guys. Definitely an interesting race.
Absolutely. It was one of those classic Las Vegas races. Had a lot of, moments where the field was spread out, a lot of moments where we got on top of each other, didn't know who was going to come out on top. But, at the end of the day, it was Kevin Bullock who was making some crazy moves all night long, had some really good runs coming out of the corners, and that's what got him to lead and got him to win.
That it was. He burns it down on the front straightaway. The 802 Cup Series winner, Kevin Bullock here. Super excited for himself here as he wins at Las Vegas. As he's going to burn it down and celebrate here. We're going to get ready to talk to our top 3 up here, folks. We'll be right back here as we compile them. And we are back here, folks, as we got our top 3 drivers for the season finale here at Las Vegas for the 802 Cup Series. And what a wild one it was. Jeff Barefoot, sorry, lost that second spot just in the final corner. But a great way to end the season for him. Let's talk to this 99 about his season here at the 802 Cup Series. Hey, Jeff, it's Zach up here at the booth. You got a copy, man. Well, man, a great run here tonight for yourself, and what a way to do it there. Come home with the 3rd position, just lost second there in the final corner, but what a great battle.
Great competition, and it was a lot of fun.
Hey Jeff, it's Brian in the booth, and don't know how much experience you have in Las Vegas, how many daytime races or nighttime races you've run, but just curious from your perspective, what the biggest difference is at Las Vegas between the day and the nighttime. What sort of different challenges does a nighttime race at Las Vegas bring as opposed to the daytime?
Well, actually, that was my first race at Vegas, and I told Rob, my teammate, when we practiced, I said, I love this little track, and it's a lot of fun. So that, yeah, can't wait to get on in a daytime race and see the difference.
Yeah, it was definitely a great one indeed, Jeff. And I tell you what, man, most likely going to come out of here. It looks like, I believe, after tonight, the points most likely it's going to be 3rd in points, man. So great season. How you feel about heading into the next one here, building off of this season?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. This is the highest points I've finished in this league, and I guess this is my 4th or 5th, maybe my 4th season, and my first top 5 in points. And it's just a great league. And Rob has done a great job with it. And we've had some issues, but the admin's hung in there and kept this thing going. And I can't wait for next season. See what they bring to us.
It's definitely going to be a fun time, man. Well, I tell you what, Jeff, congrats on the 3rd place here tonight. Before we let you get out of here, anybody want to send a special shout out to?
Yeah, thank to the broadcasting team because that's what makes it so fun to go back and watch these races. And if friends want to watch it, they can. And definitely thank the teammates. They're great guys, and I learn a lot from them. And just want to thank the league admins in general. It's been a tough season, but they made it work out.
Well, Jeff, thank you very much, man. It was a great run here tonight in third and a great run the whole season. We'll catch you hopefully at some point, man, and you have a great night.
Thank you very much, y'all too.
All right, everybody. That was your third place driver of the night. Great run from him there. Just losing that spot to his teammate there in the final few moments, but we're going to have our second place driver now. Next up, it's going to be the 21 of Rob Lowell, and he's going to be most likely the second place driver in points also, but a great run to close out that second place run in points. Let's talk to the 21 here, our second place driver. Hey, Rob, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, guys. How's it going tonight?
Going great, man. Well, I tell you what, a great run down there to the final end for you, man. Had a very fast 21 there on the long runs here tonight, man, and really made up pace there and got that position on your teammate there in that final corner, man. What a battle there. And it seems like that should possibly put you in the second spot in points. So how does that overall feel here to come up with second? And it looks like second in points.
I think the whole league is still smarting from the ass whooping that Keith has put on us this year. Man, that guy's just fast, and he was fast again tonight. Yeah, so I came in 1 point up on Jeff, who was 1 point up on Johnny. So 3 of the Wolfpack teammates were second, third, and fourth in points, separated by 2 points. And I made a mistake 2 weeks ago at Kansas. I didn't call my pit entry, so I penalized myself 3 finishing positions in that race, and then gave myself an EOL and said I couldn't qualify tonight. And had to go from the back tonight, and then working my way up through. And Sam and I got together there, and I saw it as my right front to his left rear, and we're racing for points. And at that point, I'm not gonna lift out of it. He took exception to it, but it is what it is. I hate to see someone go around like that, but it didn't end our night or his night, so that's good. Shout out to Kevin, man. He that last run, he laid some lap times down. I was even like broke from traffic. I was gaining maybe half a tenth on him a lap, and I feel like Keith and I are probably 2 of the better. And Alonso, now that he's back in the league, are probably 3 of the better guys as far as saving tires. And Kevin's come a long way, and shout outs to him, man. He's pretty impressive.
Hey, Rob, it's Brian in the booth, and looking at your season for this season, had a lot of ups and downs. I think more ups than downs, but when you look forward to next season, and just what are your thoughts on next season? How you think you're going to do, and what changes are you going to make for next season to try to get that number 1 spot?
I need to be more consistent. I probably need to temper my aggression a little bit. And then I want to work with the league here. Want to figure out what we're going to do as far as setups for next year. I want to get a setup that's a little easier for everyone to drive. So we'll probably go to a setup shop and get custom setups maybe. I don't know, the admins will talk it out, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to next season, season 6. That'll start probably in October, middle of October, late October. But I want to thank you guys for Freaky Fast. You're a class act. You guys have done a great job. I'm sorry our product wasn't ready to be on your guys' broadcast, but we'll work on it, and maybe down the road we can get back together. But thank you guys. Thank to Robert, you Brian, you Zach, everyone behind the scenes for giving us 12 awesome broadcast races. And I feel like tonight we gave you guys a heck of a show to watch, especially that middle section where there was 5 or 6 of us under a blanket for the lead. I can't wait to go back and watch that. So glad we could give you one race tonight because they're going away that, we'll give you some highlights for your highlight reels.
Yeah, definitely was a great run there in that one portion, man. It was a great race overall for sure. I mean, it had battles all throughout, Rob, man, and it was a great run for you this season, man, and we enjoyed it. And I tell you what, before we let you go here, you need to send any special shout outs to anybody for your great ending of your season here, man.
Yeah, I want to shout out to our series sponsors. We had DOT Custom Designs, Dave Lamaga's rap business, Riptide Radio, that's Jeff Barefoot, G-Stone Motors, Stone Motors. I want to thank Freaky Fast, I want to thank everyone that raced with us, everyone that put time in, everyone that donated towards the fees of the broadcast, and look forward to getting the group together maybe this coming week and figuring out what we're gonna do for next season. But just overall, thank you guys.
Well, Rob, we thank you, man. It's been a pleasure. And like you said, you never know, our paths may cross in the future, man. So you have a great life, have a great good time here, and best of luck to you here at the 802 Cup Series, man, and great run here tonight. And we'll catch you next time, hopefully.
Hey, thanks, and just a shout out, Roll Tide.
And there it was, folks. That was your second place driver there of Rob Lowell. Great run here tonight for himself to finish it out there with that second place in points. But man, I tell you what, the race winner here, he's gonna be super excited because what a run too for Kevin Bullock. You know, came in about halfway through the season after about that fourth race of the season, and then really started to roll and have some good runs. Just never could get to victory lane, but it was his night here, chance tonight. Let's talk to Kevin Bullock. Hey, Kevin, it's Zach up here in the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, Zach, what's up?
Hey, man, well, I tell you what, great job here tonight, man. There's been so many times we felt like the 62 has been close to being able to get to here to victory lane, and you're able to do it here tonight at Las Vegas. How does that feel?
Oh man, it's feels good. About time. Man, I've struggled with these new cars. But when you got Keith and Medina in your corner, on your team, they try to tell you patience, Kevin, patience. And I'm just one of them racers, man. Hold that thing wide open and just go. But I love Vegas, and I just showed a little patience tonight, and I don't know, it just paid off. About time.
Hey, Kevin, it's Brian in the booth, and this is, with this being your first one of the season, but in the last race of the season, while it's the end of the season and the next season isn't coming up for a little bit, I feel like that does give you a little bit of momentum heading into the next one. So, what do you think you're going to set the expectations up for yourself for next season, and how do you think that one's going to go?
Oh man, try to be up there with Keith and David. Try to go for this championship next season. I think I'm getting a little bit more handle on these cars. Practice is definitely paying off. I definitely, our team definitely has speed. So if I can just learn tire management, I think it'd be a good shot.
I definitely believe that is so, Kevin, man. I tell you what, practice has been making perfect for you, and it showed here tonight in that final run, especially for that 62 machine. But first win of the season finale, that's got to feel great for you, man. But before we let you get out of here, anybody want to send a shout out to for this win tonight for your great season ender?
Yeah, man. I like to thank y'all for the broadcasting through the season, man. It's been awesome. Y'all do a wonderful job. I hate to see y'all leave for next season, but who knows down the road? Maybe I'll get somewhere where y'all are broadcasting. And I'd like to give a shout out to my teammates, Keith and David Medina. We've raced together a lot, and give a shout out to my mom. She sits there and watches these broadcasts every time. She loves watching them. So, yep.
Well, thank you very much, Kevin. Congrats on the win, man. Go cherish it and celebrate it, and we will catch you in the future.
All right, man. Y'all have a good, and I appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much. All right, guys, that was your race winner. Man, what a season finale it was for Kevin Bullock in the 62 machine. Just a great run all the way down to the end of that race. And just going to have to check out how these final results played out, get our final thoughts here. And, man, it's going to be a wrap here on the 802 Cup Series season here and on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. It's been a great season, man. And I tell you what, 12 weeks of fantastic racing as Kevin Bullock closes it out with a victory with Lowell coming home in that second place position, and the points. Third going to go to Barefoot with a third place finish in points. Fourth's going to go to Tyler Dingler, David Lamaga there in fifth, Johnny Barker there in sixth. Seventh's going to go to Jeffrey Taylor. Eighth's going to be Sam Dyer. Ninth's going to go to Alonzo King, and rounding out our Freaky Fast top 10, it's going to be Jacob Mazak. As you got Keith Fallen there in 11th, our champion, David Medina Sr. in the 48, 12th, and 13th to Kerry Shaver, and rounding out our field, 14th is Christopher Norris. That was our results here tonight for the 802 Cup Series at Las Vegas, and what a season finale it was. And Brian, getting our final thoughts here on this season because, Keith Fallen, what a dominant season for him to get that championship, and man, what a great season finale also.
Yeah, Keith, he's lucky that he did have that championship all locked up because we haven't seen a mistake from Keith, but to have it here happen in the final race, that's really unfortunate for him. But luckily, wasn't too detrimental to his championship hopes, as he had, like you said, Zach, he was dominant all season. There really, once we got about 3, 4 races left, it almost seemed like there wasn't a doubt that he wasn't going to win the championship. So, again, congrats to him. It's hard to put on a dominating season like that. So, very happy for him and everybody else in this league as well. We've seen a lot of these drivers grow over the course of the season, and a lot of these guys much better than they were in week one. So, no matter where they finished in the season or finished in the race tonight, you can definitely say that a lot of these guys have gotten better. So that's always good to see, and that'll carry over into next season, and I'm sure that'll be exciting as well.
That it will be, man. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're looking to join the league, go out there and check the 802 Cup Series, as they're going to be trying to kick off their series here sometime, like Rob Lowell said, in October. So go ahead and check them out, folks. But it's our last time here for the foreseeable future here at the 802 Cup Series. It's been a pleasure to call their season. But, definitely also, before we get out of here, I just want to give a major, major shout out to all the servicemen and women in our country here in the United States of America. As everybody knows, today is September 11th, the anniversary of 9/11, and we want to give our thoughts and prayers to all the family members and all of the victims of 9/11 for sure, and all of the servicemen and women who protect our country and do the services that keep our country the way it is, like it is today, and the freedoms that we have. So thank you so much to everybody. Remember to hold your loved ones close and keep yourself with near them. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. We got action going on all throughout the week. Make sure you tune back in tomorrow night on Monday night for ISRC Truck Series, as we're gonna have some action from the Dover Raceway. Actually, now it's not the International Speedway no more. So make sure you tune in for that. You're not going to miss it. Hit that subscribe and bell notification button, as it's going to be a blast to call. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. As we say, we love you all. Stay freaky fast.